I said, you know what? Let's get more. I mean, the spine's had a role in this. We still got nerve tension going on. Your neck motion's great, but let's get more. That CT junction's such a mess. It needs pressure. It needs movement. So we move the tissues below. We're moving everything from the bottom up. We're getting it to move. We're getting it to starting to do things it hasn't done in a while. Well, we've got significant change in the week. Brilliant. Let's add some cervical movement into that. So I went into retraction and then extension with pressure from her mid-back chair. The one I've got right here is way too high, but for her it was middle back, and so she was able to get some of the same pressure she was getting to the thoracic spine, combine that with the cervical component, which brings the movement from above down, which then really isolates and really targets that CT junction.
Mm-hmm.
And so, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question. The initial thoracic motion that you had to do, thoracic extension, that was just hands on the upper trapezius, retraction.
Yeah, back of the head. Back of the head, arch, putting pressure. So keeping the cervical spine sort of, stabilized, but really driving the area that was limited. And particularly that's sort of the right sternal pain that she had. And that resolved as we went along. So what's left over? Can we get further? Can we get more? If adding in the cervical spine at that point.
Yeah. So, a lot of times we're taught you start with the cervical spine and work down into the thoracic spine. But you found there was no limitation in the cervical spine, but there was in the thoracic, and that's why you dove down there
early on. Yeah, for me, as the years have gone by, the thoracic spine, if it's not moving, and you're having to work in the lower cervical region, in the CT junction area, oftentimes, if you really try to bang away with the cervical spine, trying to get to end range, you're just not going to get there unless that thoracic spine is moving. And sometimes it becomes very helpful to spend a little bit of energy in the thoracic spine to really get that moving before you go forward and really include the end range cervical movements. Because a lot of times that end range movement, if you're not getting the full clearance, you're just sort of banging spinous processes together, and it's rather discomforting. So sometimes you have to sort of step away from always the patterns we're taught, but know that there's a reason for it and you need to get back to it. But so you can clean up sometimes the lower stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Anecdotal information again.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Where'd you go from there, Alan?
Month after month, new guest experts sharing actual patient cases and subscribers sharing their own challenging and interesting cases. Check out Case Conversations at mechanicalcareforum.com.